I am ready to work on the Word Modules 1 through 3 SAM Capstone Project 1A, Devon Company. I've already downloaded my instructions and also my 2 documents that I need for this. Here is on the screen, you see the document that I need to modify. So I'm going to come up here and go to File. First thing I need to do is save it. So I'm going to do File, Save As. And I'm going to browse, and on my desktop I created a folder, Word Capstone for Essentials, and I'm going to make that, get rid of the 1 that's on there, make it a 2, and hit save. I've already got my support document downloaded, and then make sure that your name is down here in the footer. If it's not your name, re-download it from your assignment. So we are an associate consultant for Devon Company, a major consulting firm located in Montreal, Canada. And we're completing a report for a client on trends in grocery stores. First thing we want to do on page 1 is change the Case of Trends Analysis title to Uppercase to make the title more striking. So I'm going to highlight this Trends Analysis, and we could retype it in to make it all uppercase, but hey, there's a nice little option right up here to change case, and we can do it. Click there. It's a one-stop shop. We have Trends Analysis all in uppercase. We want to make our theme colors green to coordinate with our green company logo. So on the Design tab, over here we have our colors for our theme, and we are just going to come down here and select green. We want to, on step 3, add a shape to fill the blank space on the page as follows. Near the bottom of page 1, so I'm going to scroll down here, so we're at the bottom of page 1 here. Insert a rectangle from the rectangle section of the Shapes gallery. So we want to insert a shape. To do that, we're going to come up here to the Insert tab, go to Shape, and here's our rectangles, and we just want the first rectangle shape, and we want to put this near the bottom of page 1. So let's put it down here. We want to resize the rectangle to 1 height and a width of 6.5. So up here we've got our shape format, we've got our height, and our height we want to be 1, and our width we want to be 6.5. We want to apply the colored filled line 3 shape style. So right here we have our shape styles right up here. Not to be confused with our shape fill. We can actually fill and put different colors in. But it wants us to use a shape style. We want lime accent 3 right there. We don't want an outline on our rectangle. So over here on Shape Outline, we're just going to say no outline. So if we click off of it, you see there's no outline on the rectangle. We want to drag the rectangle so this top edge is flush with the bottom edge of the Trends Analysis green rectangle. So we want to put it right here, right in between these. And you should have some guiding marks pop up on the screen to help you make sure everything is lined up. And we just wanted to add some color to make our paper look a little bit better. So that's all page 1. We're now ready for page 2. And if you don't like to see these double pages, come down here to the zoom bar and you can zoom in, and then it'll take care of that. and get you back to just one page. So here on page 2, we want to format the heading paragraph overview as follows to set it apart from the other headings in the document. So we're going to highlight overview, and we're going to make it font size 20. We're going to apply a shadow effect. So we're going to come up here on our text effects gallery, and we're going to come down here to shadow, and we want the fill. Oh, nope, wrong place. Sorry, back up. Highlight overview. We're going to come to this little ghostly A, the text effects, and we're going to find the one that is fill, green, accent, color 1, shadow. So on my screen, it's the second one from the top. I'm going to select that. And we want to illustrate the suggested strategies for green market grocery as follows. So we've got some strategies here. In the blank paragraph in the overview section. So if you're not sure where the blank paragraph is, you can come up here and click on this show hide button, and that's going to show you. Here's our blank paragraph right here. I'm going to turn that back off now. So here in my blank paragraph, we want to insert a grid matrix smart art. So I'm going to come up here to the insert tab, going to find smart art, and I want the matrix area, and I want the grid matrix. Here's basic, titled, and here's grid. I can say OK. In the upper left, I'm going to click where it says text, and I'm going to type in local and fresh. Make sure you don't just capitalize local. Make sure everything else is spelled correctly. In the upper right, I want e-commerce. In the lower left, I'm going to put shopping and more. And in the lower right, meal kits. Remember, if you are getting this automatically graded, then if you misspell something in the smart art, or you don't capitalize something, or you capitalize something, it will count you off for the entire smart art. So make sure you spell things correctly. Now we're going to format our smart art to suit the appearances of our document. We're going to change the colors to colored fill accent 2. So here's our changed colors. And we want colored filled accent 2. We want to change the smart art style to subtle effect. And there's our smart art. So for step 7, we want to put some more information in our document. So we are going to find the sentence, today small producers. So let's see, right here. Today small producers are netting more than 60% of the branded goods market. That is the sentence. After the period at the end of the sentence, so after the period, we want to insert a footnote. So I'm going to come up here, make my insertion point after the period, come up here to references, and insert footnote. And we want our footnote to say, small producers are those ranked below the top 100 producers, period. So we've got our footnote in here. Now on page 3 of our instructions, we are going to draw and format a text box to include a quotation about online grocery shopping. So we want to draw a text box to the right of the paragraph consumers also show. So right here, we've got our paragraph, and we want to insert. I'm going to come over here and grab text box. And we don't want a built-in one. We want to draw a text box. And we want it right over here. We want to position the text box using the bottom right with square text wrapping option. So right here is our position, and over here is our bottom right with square text wrapping. Now we're going to copy and paste the paragraph from that support document. So I'm going to come here to my File tab, and I'm going to open, and I'm going to find that support document. I'm going to highlight the quote and copy. Come back to that document and paste it here in the text box. We need to resize the text box to 1.5. I missed that one. So height is going to be 1.5, and our width of our text box is going to be 2.3. See now how it all fits. We want a colored outline. So here's our shape outline. We want it to be colored, a colored green accent 1. Oh, wait a minute. I keep messing up, you guys. I apologize. We want to apply the colored outline green accent 1 shape style. So we don't want one of the individual ones. We want the shape style. So I'm going to click on this box right here, and I want the colored outline green accent 1 right there. And then I want to go to the Shadow Shape Effects Gallery to apply the Offset Center Shadow. So here's my Shape Effects Gallery. I want the shadow, and I want Offset Center. Offset Center. Right there. Just make it stand out a little bit more. Now we're ready for page 3. So on page 3, we're going to format the picture of the grocery store as follows to improve its appearance. And we did this in a couple of different assignments, so none of this should be new to you. We're going to flip the picture vertically so that we have the correct orientation with it. So I'm going to select the picture, go to Picture Format, Rotate, and we want to flip vertically. We want to resize it to a width of 6. And we want the simple frame white picture style. That's all we're doing. We're not messing with any of the color or the artistic effects or anything, just messed with the size and added a frame. We are going to create a bulleted list beginning with the paragraph add online shopping and delivery services. So we're going to scroll down here on page 3 here. Here's our add online shopping, and we want to go clear down to the host events for contemporary customers. So those 3 lines, we want those to be a bulleted list. So we've got them selected. We're going to come up here and just select bullets. It's going to automatically make it into a bulleted list for us. We want to format the paragraph beginning Devon Company found and ending in-house farm markets to make it stand out on the page. So we've got this paragraph right here. And we want to apply a green accent 1 shading color to the paragraph. So up here in our paragraph section, we have our shading. I'm going to select this, and I want the green accent 1 color shading. I want to change my font color, which is over here in the font area, to white. And then I want to center the paragraph. So I'm going to come back here to center and center that paragraph. Moving on to page 4. We want to copy the formatting from the text dining to the text payment services to use consistent font formats in our in-store experiences. So we're going to find the text that we like, which in this case is dining. So we're going to highlight dining, and then I'm going to just use my little toolbar here, and I'm going to click once on the format painter. Then I'm going to click right next to the payment services and go clear over to the colon and then let go. So now all 4 of my titles there are formatted the same way. We are now ready for step 13. We are going to format the picture of the meal kit as follows to improve its layout on the page. So we just want to make this look a little nicer. So before we can do anything to it, we need to make sure we select the picture. And on our picture formatting toolbar, we're going to add a border to the picture using the green accent 1 border color. So we're come up here to picture border, and we want the green accent 1 border color. We want to position the picture so that all the body text in the subscription meal kit section appears to the right of the picture, and the heading subscription meal kits appears below it. So we want everything right. So we're just going to move it over here. And we want to change the text wrapping to tight. So up here, our text wrap, we want it to be tight. So see how it looks a little bit nicer. We don't like the way our heading 2 style is formatted. So if we click here, subscription meal kits, that's heading 1. Not sure what is heading 2. Grocery shopping habits is heading 2. We don't like that. We want to change that a little bit. So we want to modify it. So I'm going to come up here in my styles where it says heading 2. I can right click on it and then select modify. So now whatever I do here in this box, any place in my document that's been styled heading 2 will make these changes as well. We want to make it a 14 point instead of 13. So we're going to select that and make it 13 point. We want the font color. So here's our font color. We want it to be green accent 1. And then we're going to say OK. So you see any place that was heading 2 now is that 14 point in green accent 1. So it's looks a little different than our heading 1 style. Now in our grocery shopping habits list, we have these 5 items and 5 paragraphs, and we want to set a custom tab stop of 2.25 for these 5 items. So I'm going to select all these, come up here to my paragraph dialog box launcher, and then select tabs. I want a custom tab set at 2.25. I want everything else to be the same. I'm going to say OK. So that just aligns our percentages up away from our text. Now we're ready for page 5. So over here on page 5, we're going to modify the table in store visits to add the new information and to coordinate with our other tables so they look the same. So we want to insert a new row at the end of the table. There's several ways to do that. I'm just going to click in my table, come up here to my table layout, and insert below. The first cell is going to be 2021. Hit the tab key, and it's going to be 1.5. Our table, we want it to be look just like this one down here. So that's going to be under the Table Design tab. So I'm going to hit Table Styles, hit this More option, and I'm going to find the table List Table 3 Accent 6. So here's List Table 3 Accent 6. Now they look alike. Expenditures, we want this to be heading 2 style. So I'm just going to select it and then select heading 2 so that it all matches. Then we're going to come down here for more survey results. We want to add a 36-point spacing before this paragraph. So up here in our paragraph grouping, I'm going to click on this dialog box launcher. Our spacing before, we want to change this to 36. Okay, we just want to make it look a little separated from the rest of our document. At the end of the document, for more survey results, let's see, we did that. We want to underline the email address so it matches the formatting of the web address. So I'm going to highlight it here and underline. And then in our last paragraph in the document where it says insert square bullet, done this before too, we're going to highlight this insert squared bullet, including the brackets. And then I'm going to go to insert. And I'm going to come over here to symbol. Go to more symbols. And I'm going to come up here. I want, it's a wingdings. So on my font, I'm going to scroll down to wingdings. And it's 110, so I can put that in the character code right here. Insert. So I've got my square button there. And then close. We don't want this hyperlink here, so I can right click on it and remove hyperlink. Then I want to add outside borders to the last 3 paragraphs, beginning with 4 more surveys. and ending with our website address. We want to add outside borders. So up here, we're going to come up here to the Home tab. And in the paragraph, I've got my Borders button. I'm going to come down here to Borders and Shading so I can be specific. We want our border color to be the green accent 1. So I see a theme with all of that. And I want it just a regular one. Apply it to the paragraph. And say OK. So now we've got our little border. Oh, wrong color on my border. Let's come back down here. Come back to our border button. Borders and shadings. We want it to be dark green text 2. So I've got my dark green text 2, darker 25% right there. Now say OK. Sorry about that. Now we want to find all instances of the word shops and replace it with stores so we can use the correct terms. So to do this, we're going to come up here to replace. Actually, best thing to do is go to the top of our document. So I'm going to hit Control Home, it takes me to the top of my document. Hit Replace. I want to find the word shops and replace it with stores. And replace all. It found 2. Say OK. And close this. Now I want to check spelling and grammar. So I'm going to go to Review and Spelling and Grammar. Preferences is misspelled, so I need to click on it to change that. And it says to ignore names and grammar. So I'm going to ignore that one. And I'm done. Now I'm ready to submit my paper. So first thing I need to do is save it, close it, come back here. We use Blackboard. I'm going to click here to upload it for grading. I'm going to find that document. Open, got the right one, submit it. You always want to view your report. Don't just take it for granted. I'm going to open up my report. And I got 99 out of 100, which I'm happy with. But let's just oh, I just didn't position my picture correctly, my meal kit picture. Oh, I put it on the right side of the paragraph instead of the left side. So everything is supposed to be on the left and not the right. So I could go back in, open up my document. I could move this. This is supposed to be on the other side. And submit it for a higher grade, but quite honestly, I'm happy with 99, so I'm not going to make any changes. And I'm ready to give myself a pat on the back and do something I want to do for a few minutes. Have a great day.